everyone. This is Chris and Sandy Bent with the Chris and Sandy Show. We get up close and personal, some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I said, on every episode, we got a great one for you. Who do we have?
Yes, we have Payton Howie with us today. She's been branded as the ultimate all-American girl by Scenes Media. Her most recent single, Freedom, was featured on several of Spotify's sought-after editorial playlists, and the accompanying music video bleeds red, white, and blue.
And we're excited to have her on. So welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
So I always like to start the show off the same way right now.
Yes.
This last year has been crazy for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So how did COVID affect what you do? And what have you done to kind of get through this craziness?
You know, I've been one of the few lucky ones that has, found the places that are still having live music and that are still having, shows or anything like that. And I mean, whether it's inside or outside, I've been one of the lucky ones that's been able to find some places that are still doing that. And I've been touring around a lot lately. I've been playing a lot of shows out in Texas. I started like around last summer, kind of playing a lot of shows in Texas where a lot of places were still open. And so I honestly, it's not been as bad for me as I know that it's been for a lot of other people. And I'm just really grateful that I was still able to play live music. But I also was given a lot of time to write, and I had the opportunity to get on and do things like this because I feel like live streams and social media and all that stuff became huge during, quarantine and all that stuff. Like getting to do live stream concerts and all that stuff was actually kind of really, really fun because you can connect with people from all over. Yeah.
Now, can you turn your mic up just a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like for us, we launched this show January of 2020, so a couple months before COVID. And our original plan was 100 interviews first year. We thought that would be a great foundation. And then COVID happens. And I was like, ooh, this could be our silver lining, a brand new show. I bet we can get more people on than we ever dreamed of. And because of that, we're over 400 interviews since.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys have had some pretty awesome interviews too. I was going back and watching some of the ones you guys have done. It's really cool.
We appreciate that. It's definitely been crazy,
It's been a lot of fun.
And then of course
we enjoy it.
In 2 weeks we've got Color Me Bad coming on.
Oh yes, and Lisa Lowe
coming on Thursday supposed to be. So hopefully that goes. Because again, you say you got someone coming on and they're booked, but I've learned in this business that if someone even if someone's booked, sometimes it don't happen.
Yeah, right. It happens sometimes.
So, what are some hobbies you like to do outside of music?
Oh man, there's a lot that I like to do other than music. Obviously, I mean, I spend so much of my time writing and recording or playing shows. But when I'm not doing that, I love to hang out with my friends. I enjoy working out a lot, so I like to work out and do that. I love to be out on the lake, jet skiing, or on a boat or something like that. I just think, especially when it's like beach or lake, I'm a lake girl for sure. So that's probably one of my favorite things to do.
What's funny is we're planning on moving out to Nashville, and that's probably the hardest thing for me. Is we're in Savannah, Georgia, and I've been a coastal guy all my life, pretty much.
Oh, yes. And I've been here almost 20 years now.
And it's like leaving the coast. It's like, I know that Nashville's got a lake, but it's not the same.
Oh, I know. And that's insane. I totally get that. I was I was born and raised in Southern California, like an hour north of San Diego. And then now I've just been traveling so much. I spend half the time in Nashville and the other half the time in Texas. And obviously Texas has got like Galveston and all that, but I mean, it doesn't really, I'm comparing that to like San Diego beaches, and, like Orange County beaches. I mean, it's kind of, but
So was you in Nashville anytime through 4th of July weekend?
I was not in Nashville for the 4th of July. I was just in Nashville last weekend. We were filming my new music video on Lake Percy Priest.
Cool.
The lake there is actually pretty nice. So, I mean, I know the beach is great and all, but the lake there is actually pretty cool.
Oh, yes. We've been to that lake during one of our trips up there, and we really liked it. It's very nice.
Yes, as long as the numbers keep not go up too high, we're planning on, I'm turning 50 into this month, so we're planning on spending a week in Nashville.
Yeah.
Cool.
So hopefully that trip still happens. Like It's like, come on now, let's slow the numbers down.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
It's a great place to visit. It was packed just this last week. They had Garth Brooks up at the Nissan stadium, and so literally the streets were swarming with people. It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, we watched a lot of our Nashville friends have their cameras going at that stadium during that night with the storms. It was horrible, the storms.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And of course, everybody commenting when the thunder rolled.
Yeah. I know, it was crazy. I mean, I was actually flying through that storm because I was coming back here for Texas for a show, and our flight got delayed so many times, and I was like, and it still didn't get canceled though. So.
Oh wow.
So you know, a lot of people would ask, when did you know you wanted to do music? But I like to go deeper than that. When did it click that this could be a career choice for you?
I would say, you know, when I was around 16, I got my first guitar, and I started kind of like teaching myself how to play. And I was going out and playing shows and open mics and just little fun jam things in my hometown. And I was really enjoying playing music. It's just so fun to get to learn a song or write a song and share it with people. That was something I was really enjoying. But then like I feel like the time that I kind of realized like, hey, this is kind of what I want to do was I was a freshman in college, and I've worked my whole life playing softball to get a college scholarship to play ball. And I got my scholarship for a Division II school in Colorado. And you know, I finally got there. I was on the team and I was playing ball. And then at the same time, I was kind of like dabbling in music. And I was like, why can I not be a full-time student, full-time athlete, and full-time musician? Like, that sounds so great, you know? So, it was working out well. I mean, I was traveling all over the place, playing shows and then coming back and, you know, playing on the team and taking classes. But I would say right around Christmas time, my freshman year, I had released one single, and I was getting ready to release my second single, F-150, in January. I was getting ready to release F-150, and things were just getting so hectic, like with music. Things were going really well, and I kind of had to make the decision, like softball or music. And it was a difficult decision because softball is like the other love of my life besides music. And so I ended up choosing to pursue music full time. I'm still pursuing my degree in communications and marketing, but I don't play softball anymore. So that's kind of when I decided, like, if I'm going to give up something I work.
See, the marketing degree can help you with your music.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I was thinking. You know, I was just like, okay, so if I'm going to give this up, then I'm going to just full send it and give this all I have. And that's why I think I decided, you know, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
I know we had somebody on last year, and they're actually from Savannah, where we are, and they were talking about, you know, they're in the medical field and a rising artist locally.
To be a doctor.
And I asked her, okay, do you have the fear of the day that you're gonna have to make a choice? And she's like, I fear that every day, because she was like, she knows that she can't, you know, you can't be a doctor at the highest level and be an artist at the highest level. One's gonna have to give. So yes. So do you see that too if you're going on a career too?
Yeah, I mean, I felt that, and I think I got a little bit lucky with it because well, I mean, I was a freshman not too long ago. So when I started playing softball in college, literally that exact year, COVID hit. So
it gave you a chance.
Exactly, and it was kind of sad because the people in my graduating class, they really didn't even get to play a full season on the team till their junior year. Wow. And so now it's kind of like looking back at it, because I mean, unless you're going to play in the Olympics, there's no like major league softball. So it's like no matter how hard I try, even if I wanted to, it's only 4 years of college ball. But if I give music my all, I could be doing this for the rest of my life, you know?
Exactly. And you know, you know, I remember we had Allison Steele on years ago when they were Two Steel Girls, and she talked a lot about that you got to be all in. And speaking of being all in, as you know, a lot of people, they see the glory of like a Blake Shelton, of a Miranda, of a Carey, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles it takes, not just to get to their level, but even a career level within music. And I always want to talk about that, just like I did with Allison years ago. So let's talk a little bit about the sacrifices and struggles you've had to make, even to get to where you are today.
Well, I will say that I have been someone that has had so many just talented and generous, kind, and knowledgeable people in my life that have, kind of like taken me under their wing and, steered me in the right direction, especially being out in Nashville so much now. I mean, there's a lot of people in Nashville, and it's so crazy to me sometimes because you go out there and there's these writers rounds and you're playing with all these amazing writers, and whether they're, like musicians or artists or just songwriters, there's so much talent out there. Yeah. And to have, I've just been lucky enough to have those people that have guided me through, hey, stick to these people, or hey, having my back and having a team and a circle around me that are people that I can trust and people that I know are going to steer me in the right direction. So I will say that I know some people have these horror stories of, oh man, I got messed up by this guy, or this guy did this, and I mean, I've had some of those experiences where it's like someone says something that they don't actually mean, or someone says something that they don't actually know, or everyone has their opinions. And I think I've been lucky enough to have those people that have taught me to stay true to what I know and what I know that I want to do and who I want to be as an artist. So I've not had to face so many difficult experiences, I know, as so many other people.
Because you were willing to listen.
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty lucky to have that. I would say that definitely, like the whole softball thing, I would say that's probably the biggest sacrifice I've made for music, other than like a few hours of sleep, which is totally worth it though, because I mean, you're playing shows sometimes and you end up not getting home 3-4 in the morning, and you're like, man, this is crazy. But it's like that's so much fun. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, I remember I used to be part of this little business called in the network marketing business. And I remember that they used to have audios, and they would talk about when you're driving home at 2-3 in the morning, on the road, that you're either a network marketer, an entertainer, or you're a drunk at 3 a.m.
Pretty much, you're not wrong.
So you're going to play 2 songs for us. So what's the first song?
All right. So the first song that I was going to play is the first song that I dropped off of my soon to come EP. This one's called Run Boy Run. It's a little song that I wrote with a couple of my friends out in Nashville, Michael Austin and Eric Halvig. This song kind of just stems from an experience that I had with an ex. We were dating, and he was a California boy, and it was kind of one of those relationships where you're either gonna end up together, or it's gonna be the worst heartbreak of your life. It's like that. It ended up not even really being that bad. He was a cheater, and so he kind of left, and he just kind of, when everything happened, he just kind of dipped. So we wrote the song called Run Boy Run, and I think it suits that situation perfectly. So I hope y'all like this one. This one's called Run Boy Run. Kiss over in the dark, pretend to tell the things you never tell nobody else. Matchlight lights spark the dreams of heart until that heart has nothing left. Boy, I promise right here honest, you can't outrun a guilty conscience. Gonna lose her, yeah, that truth hurts. I ain't gonna sit and take you 3 steps towards the door before you feel the pain. You never close. You should already be long gone wrong, boyfriend. 'Cause I got the routine attitude. Gonna make it happen. You going what's done is done. I promise she's a bitch. She's got a different point of view. Because of the way you played her, be your troublemaker. Yeah. From this route here on, it should keep out on a guilty conscience. You should already be long gone wrong, boyfriend. 'Cause I got the routine attitude. Gonna make it happen for you. Boy, what's done is done. I promise she's a bitch. She's got a different point of view. Because of the way you played her. Because of the way you played her. Be your troublemaker. Be your troublemaker. Thank you guys for listening.
Oh, great job.
Love it. Great
Loved
job.
Thank you
on
so much.
So, as you know, a lot of people, they see you as the artist, but don't see the teams that make the artist. In our opinion,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
teams never get the love
They
they
don't.
deserve.
Never.
On our show, they do. So take a
Yes.
few moments just to tell us about the team that helps you be who you are.
Man, oh my gosh. There's so many people that I have just been so lucky to have in my life, in my career, like on this path that I'm going down. First though, it's always my family. Like my mom and my dad are literally just above and beyond. I will say they've done more for me in my career than I would say that anyone has done. Just simply because of the support through the decision that I made with softball and you know, all the travel, all the crazy things like, you know, recording an entire EP, you know, working on different projects like that and playing shows and all the late nights. So definitely my mom and my dad, they've literally supported me and like been there for everything. So definitely my mom and my dad, I want to say that. And you know, my team, Core PR, like literally, they are the coolest
They're
people
awesome.
ever. They're so cool. I mean, I started working with them not too long ago, actually, and it's just like, they're the coolest people and everything with all the new music videos that I'm shooting, getting ready to release some new music, and even just coming alongside and like, hey, like, you know, outfit choices, jewelry, all that cool stuff. They're just the coolest. So I love Core. They're amazing. So that, and then definitely the producers and writers on my new EP. I have Michael Austin, Eric Halbig, and Joe Yeager. They were the 3 writers that I was working with on my new project that's coming out. And I'm super excited because they're just, all 3 of them are, you know, they all kind of do their own thing. Like Michael's an artist himself. Eric Halbig, he was the lead guitarist for Sarah Evans. Like he's just beyond talented. And Joe is an artist herself too. So having just so much talent come in on one EP. And then the team that I recorded with, all the musicians, I literally was lucky enough to have like Dolly Parton's bass player who's played with Garth and Hank.
Wow.
And Billy Noble played keys for Tim McGraw. He's the coolest guy. And Reba McEntire's still guitar player, and just like so many amazing musicians just coming together to bring the project to life. And those are just some of the few people that I've, you know, just had like on my team, on my side, and have helped me and been there through everything.
Love that. Now you mentioned your parents first. I love that. So, and I love it when parents are actually behind artists, because they don't always have that support. So tell us a parent story. You probably got 1,000 of them, but tell us a story where they went above and beyond for your career, and you're like, wow, they get that this is what I want to do.
Oh man, there's so many. Oh Oh my goodness. I will say there's a ridiculous amount, and it's funny because there is so much that I would say that my parents have had to. I mean, you don't just naturally know how to work in the music industry. Like, obviously, like no one really knows. You have to learn along the way. Like, it's a learning process. And the fact that like my parents, sometimes my mom, she learned so much about like different things with social media or algorithms or different networking things. And it's crazy that it's a learning process. And the fact that they have literally just been like, like we're going to learn alongside. And it's just so great to have them there. I will say one thing that was just probably super insane. So during this storm, the crazy freeze that happened out here.
Right.
I was out in Nashville and I was doing some rounds out there, and we got trapped in Nashville in the snow. My mom and I were trapped in Nashville in the snow, trying for I think 5 days, and just the fact that they were just like, yeah, it is what it is. And my mom and I just chilling there, we were writing songs and hanging out, eating microwave pizzas, and it was like, I think we were stuck there for like 5 days. It was insane. And then meanwhile, my dad was in Texas, and all the pipes burst and all this crazy snow, the pool freezing over, and I was just like, man. Wow. Like, I know that was just a crazy thing that happened, and I mean, they're just like, yeah, it is what it is,
And speaking of family and team members, we got a third co-host, our little 9-year-old that we allowed to ask a few questions. So Sandy's gonna go get him real quick.
Okay.
His name's Christopher, and we've got a 2-year-old daughter that when she gets older, she'll be plugged into the show too.
Oh, how cool!
So awesome. Try to keep it in the family here.
That's awesome. That is such a cool thing to bring, and to have. I love that. That's super cool.
The great thing is we can do that.
I mean, that's cool. And then it's kind of cool to kind of teach those skills of talking with people and just an interaction and stuff, and having good conversation. Like, you guys are great conversationalists.
Well, thank you.
Hi, Payton.
How's it going? How are you?
It's going great. So, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food? Oh, man. I will say I love some really, really good steak, a really good barbecue, especially being out in Texas these last few months. Texas people know how to barbecue for sure. What's your favorite food?
Mine is pizza.
Pizza? That's the best. Pizza's so good.
He would eat it all day long.
Literally,
I'm a barbecue fan.
And you can always change it up. There's so many different kinds of pizzas that you can have too.
Yeah, but I'm a barbecue fan myself, so.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like every time, when we went to Nashville this last trip, it was like almost every night we ate, and I ended up getting ribs. So.
Yeah, we ate out 5 or 6 nights of 4.
Yeah, out of the 5 or 6 nights, 4 of them was rib night for me. So.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Nashville's got some pretty good food out there for sure.
So, what's your favorite TV show?
What's that?
What's your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show. Oh goodness. I would say Friends. I've been watching Friends since I was real young, and now it's like my brother and I. Whenever he comes home from college or whatever, we always watch it together. So definitely Friends. What about you?
Mine is SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Oh my gosh, that was my childhood.
and what's been cool about it, because we bring on not just artists but actors too on the show.
Very cool.
He watches a lot of Disney and Nickelodeon shows now, so we've been able to bring on a handful, probably 10, 20 people from Disney and Nickelodeon onto the show. That's
really cool. What a cool opportunity. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's been really cool for him to talk to him like that. We got one of our most recent ones. We brought on the girl that played Destiny on Bunked.
Oh, that's cool.
That was a really cool moment for him.
I bet. That was probably so fun.
Yes.
In fact, I mean, apparently people really like her because she keeps getting, her interviewed on the YouTube side of things grows 100 views a day. I mean, and I don't push it or anything, but apparently people keep searching for her. So she's popular
cool.
right now.
That's very cool.
Right.
So what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. Oh goodness. I would say probably a movie that I've always loved was I loved the Hunger Games. Like the Hunger Games series, I thought those were so cool. And I grew up watching those, and like I still love them. I can rewatch them all the time.
And what's yours?
Mine's a Minions movie.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, the Minions. See, he's even got the
That,
shirt.
that was so good.
And Despicable
And
Me.
Despicable Me and all that.
That is so good.
Yeah,
I
Caitlin
love
loves all that too. All right.
Bye, next.
Bye.
His shirt.
I love his shirt.
All right, he's got a Minion shirt. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, every now and then he ends up wearing a shirt that blends into our green screen, and he laughs. There's some shirts where he forgets, and it's fully green, so he's just a head floating in.
He probably
Yeah,
does it on
they
purpose just to
The
mess with you guys.
nickname during that time, Brick Boy. And
Because
he
it looks
loves
like he's
that.
got bricks.
Like, I'm Brick Boy. Yeah.
That is so funny.
So if you could co-write with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh man. I would say one of the writers that I've been studying a lot lately, just like his writing style. And I mean, he's written for so many major artists, and he is like a major artist himself, is Hardy. Like
Oh, wow.
his writing style and listening to a lot of the things that he's written for other people is he's just a really talented writer. I would say he's probably number one on my list right now, just as someone that I've been really looking at. And that or Miranda Lambert. Like I feel like she's
awesome.
got this like sass about her, and especially after hearing the Marfa tapes, you know, I would love to sit down and write her.
So this probably has 1,000 answers, but what's a song you've heard that you wish you wrote?
Oh my goodness. One of the first ones that comes to mind is Small Town Hypocrite by Kaylee Hammock.
Oh wow.
Oh, yes.
That is like that song, like I don't know, and I heard it in a time in my life where it just felt like I was listening to like a soundtrack of like an experience that I had. It was so crazy to hear that song and be like, man, I wish I would have written that song.
Oh,
But
wow.
that's definitely one of the first ones that comes to my mind for sure.
So speaking of songs and all that, what's
Yes.
the second song you're gonna play?
All right, second song I want to play. This is the last single I just put out. This one's called Freedom. I just dropped this one on Memorial Day weekend along with the music video. It was super cool to get to shoot that. And so this is a real patriotic song.
Oh wow.
This song goes out especially to any of our servicemen or women out there. Thank you so much for your service. And the
Love
second
it.
here is called Freedom. It's time driving daddy's old Ford, flying down an older road, burning gas, no place to go, being hidden on the radio. Touchdowns on Friday night, sneaking sips of one cruise light. His jersey fits just right. First kiss, your eye just might. Ooh, that feels like freedom, freedom. Ain't scared of fighting for freedom, freedom. Oh Lord, I'm thankful for colors that don't run. I'm proud of where I'm from. Oh, that feels like freedom, freedom. Signed up birthday 18. You said, will you wait for me? Headed out overseas. Oh boy, I wanna be. Yeah, that's taste of freedom. Ain't scared of fighting for freedom, freedom. Oh Lord, I'm thankful for colors that don't run. I'm proud of where I'm from. Oh, that feels like freedom. That feels like freedom, freedom, freedom. like freedom, freedom. That feels like freedom, freedom. Ain't scared to fight for freedom, freedom. Oh Lord, I'm thankful for colors and so blood. I'm proud of where I'm from. Oh, that feels like Thank you so much.
That great song.
So back in 2016, we interviewed Kelsey Ballerini before.
No way.
Yes,
It was
where
really
she was known.
really cool to know that.
Yes.
And one of the questions I asked her was where she wanted to be in
Mhm.
5 years. And I always like to tell this story before I ask
Yeah.
the guest that same question, because the answer she gave us back then is to the T of what she's living now. So
had it
she
planned
knew
out.
where she was going and nobody was going to stop her.
Right.
So knowing that, where did you want to be in 5 years?
Where I want to be in 5 years, the way I always answer this question is by saying, you know, like I love music. Music is a part of my heart. It's a part of my soul. And the thing that I love most about getting to be an artist and having original songs to put out there and share with people is I love sharing music with people. I love being able to make somebody feel something. I love being able to tell a story that people hear and think, wow, I connect with that, or wow, I never thought of it like that, or that really hit home. That's my favorite thing, is when people tell me that when I share a song with them, whether it's mine or a cover, and maybe they see it in a different light because of the way I sang it or something like that. Like, I love being able to influence people, or I love being able to move people through music. And I hope that in 5 years, I still am able to do that and move people. I want to take it as far as I can. I want to ride the wave as long as possible, and I want to keep playing shows all over the place. I've had, like, in these last few months, the opportunity to be able to tour so much, and literally just like 2 weeks ago, I got to play the ACL Awesome City Limits Moody Theater up in Austin. It was crazy. I got to play the Taco Margarita Festival. They sold it out, like 2,500 people, and it was just insane to get to share original music and some of like people's favorites, and seeing people dance and be excited and just loving the music. And I'm really grateful that as, you know, time goes on and as, you know, my music starts to get out there more, it's just crazy to see like the crowds get larger and people being moved by music. And I hope that whether it's a little listening room experience or, you know, stadium, I hope I'm able to still be moving people with music in 5 years. So that's what I'm going to do.
Awesome.
Now let's look even further down the road, say 15 years down the road, and you're a success on a grand scale. Whatever that looks like for you, you're there. If the person you are today could meet her, your future successful self, what would you remind her?
That's a really good question. I would say something I would remind my future self would be to just like stay true to who I am as a person, or to like be honest with myself and to be honest with everybody else, because I think so many times, like in the music industry, it's hard to not, oh, it's just a little, I'm just messing with tweaking this a little, I'm just tweaking this a little, like, you know, to change it. It's hard to not change yourself.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you wanna like get somewhere. You wanna get far. You wanna do things, and sometimes you're like, okay, well, I could change this. I could change this, and obviously, yeah, like everyone, you know, could use some changing here and there, and nobody's perfect. But I think sometimes it's important to remember that they're like your roots. You know, I think it's important to remember like where you came from, and most importantly, like who got you there, because there's no way. I don't care who you're talking about. There's no artist or musician, whatever, that just got there simply like on their own. Like there's always a team, there's always a family. And I think that's important to remember.
Exactly.
Yes. And how would you describe your music to someone who hasn't heard it yet?
I would say it's a little edgy. I'd say it's real. I'd say I love that, like, some of the new music that I'm putting out that's a little, unreleased tells a story. I've been working a lot on writing songs that tell a story. And I'm really excited to be putting out new music. So that's what I would say. It's real, and it's a little edgy, and can be patriotic at times as well.
Awesome. And what would you like your legacy to be as an artist? What would you like to be known and remembered for?
I want to be known as somebody that tells a story, for sure. I think, like, looking at artists like Reba and Loretta Lynn and some of, like, the traditional greats that just have this way of, like, bringing it into here, like telling a story and making it just like, hey, it's just you and me, we're just talking, even though there's like 50,000 other people in the stadium. Let me tell you a story. Like, I love that about an artist. Or I love sometimes people writing things that you've never heard before. I want to be unique, and I want to be a storyteller.
Awesome. And if you could relay any message to your fans, what would you want to say to them?
I would say, don't ever, like, doubt yourself in something that you want to do, whether it is, music or pursuing this job or getting that degree or whatever it is. I think a lot of the times we get in our own way. Sometimes, there's people in our way or it's other things but I think a lot of the time when we feel like we can't get somewhere or we feel like we can't achieve something, it's usually ourselves that are in the way. So don't ever, like, doubt yourself, and don't ever get in the way of yourself doing something that is going to make you better, for sure.
So what advice would you give that artist that's really just getting their feet wet? They feel like this is what they're called to do.
I would say write, because if I could go back and change kind of how I've done things as an artist, and I mean, I'm still, like, way young and still got, like, a lot to do, for sure. I would say something that I wish I would have done sooner is write. I was very hesitant to start writing music, I would say, because I was unsure almost. And I feel like sometimes people think it has to be a certain way or just throw the whole thing out. Like, it's not that way. Like, music's unique, And sometimes you hear just, like, the simplest songs that people are just obsessed with, and you're like, wow. Or you hear songs like Bohemian Rhapsody that's, like, written by one person, and it's like, oh my goodness, like, songs like that.
And
it's
most songs, when you hear the story, the artist, almost the big #1 hits, they always say, oh, I wrote that in like 20 minutes.
I know, that's exactly the point. So that's what I would say, for sure, is definitely write. Even if it's horrible, just keep writing. Like, always keep writing, and not only that, but work with other artists. Like, do co-writes, for sure, because that's, like, what has grown me as a writer is co-writes.
Yeah. Awesome. As we close out here, tell everybody how they can reach you and what's next.
I would love to stay connected with everybody on my social media. I got my Instagram, Payton Howie Music, Payton, and my Facebook page the same, Payton Howie Music. And I got YouTube, Spotify, all that good stuff, Twitter, all that fun stuff. And my new music video for Freedom is out now on my YouTube channel. And I just shot my next music video for my next single. So if you use Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you use, make sure you go follow me on there so that you can figure out when my next single's coming out. I'm super excited to be dropping that very, very soon, announcing it very soon as well.
Love that. We really enjoyed having you on the show today, and we look forward to having you back down the road.
Yes, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. This was a really, really fun time. I appreciate you guys having me.
Well, we appreciate it. We
enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.